YouTube? It's your boy HT300.
Yo.
Here my boy Runner Joe Genji. What's happening, man?
Good, man. Triple. Happy Tuesday. New episode. UFC Talk. Let's get it, man. We've been talking about this for a minute.
It's been a long time coming, guys.
Yeah.
It's been talks.
Yeah.
For months.
A lot of spitfire, a lot of
It's been talks for months, man. That me and Ron is going to spit that fire for this UFC talk, my guy.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's happening now, right now.
That's right.
So I wanted to get into a few topics. So just here's a slate of topics we're gonna talk about. First, our passions, why we love the UFC, why we watch it, why every week I watch fights, I look up fights, I follow my favorite fighters on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram.
Wow.
I love this sport.
Yeah, no doubt.
It groomed me. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. We're gonna talk about your passions and your the best fights that you watch. Your favorite fighters. We're gonna talk about all that stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the state. I don't want to say the state of all the UFC champions, but the most of the popular UFC champions. We're gonna talk about their streaks, their upcoming fights. Who we think can beat them. Who we think can go undefeated, because Jon Jones is undefeated.
Yeah.
He got that one loss, but it was from a technicality. It was from he elbowed and then he got lost. He got DQ'd. He didn't really lose. You know what I mean?
Undefeated.
So we're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
So get ready, guys. So Ronan,
Yo.
why are you so passionate about watching UFC, man? Like what got you into the UFC?
Just early days of like Strikeforce, just combat in general, man. I think fighting is an art. You know what I'm saying? It's a freedom of expression. It's really cool, man, because martial arts is a big thing for me growing up. Never really like studied it, but like watching it in television and movies, and it was cool to see an event come out where MMA, different styles, mixed martial arts come out and show different fight styles, because we're so used to seeing boxing, wrestling. MMA kind of changed the game because you saw not only different styles of fighting, but fighters across the world. It's an international thing.
Facts.
Underground went mainstream. It's big, man, spectacle, and people like action, and we like extreme sports. We like heavy hitting stuff. We like authenticity and real, and it's just manly stuff. You know what I mean? So for me,
very manly.
Yeah, shout out to this day and age having that. MMA was like a foundation of a lot of things for me, and I like action. You know what I'm saying? And then you throw sports into the factor, and like, hey, extreme sports, then put them in a cage. So it's very little rules. It's more just survive. You know what I mean? And UFC is kind of unpredictable because you don't know what's going to happen. Fights don't really last long. It's the opposite of boxing. They go like 12, 13 rounds. UFC maybe 2 or 3 at the most.
We're going to talk about it being so unpredictable.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about
God, that's it.
The odds being stacked against a fighter so heavy, and then he come out on top. In a 5-round fight, or in a 5-second fight. We'll get to that soon.
And then you gotta acknowledge like the special moves. Like UFC fighters got special moves, counters, and you know what I'm saying. It's almost like a fighting game.
Yeah.
Boxing is very traditional. You know what I'm saying. But UFC, they're allowed to do things, counters, blocks, grapples, groundwork. So you're seeing different levels of it, and then you can see the up and down and weaknesses and strengths of another opponent. I may be ground level, but I may have footwork, you know what I'm saying, or he may be hands, you know what I'm saying, or guards. So that octagon, it kind of levels the playing field, because how do I bring the other person down to my level? How do I get on that person's level? So it's a strategy. I love it, man. It's chess.
Oh my God, man.
It's chess in the ring.
It is so refreshing to do a video with you about the UFC, man, because I know that you have vast knowledge in movies, man, and I can tell right now you have vast knowledge in UFC. Yeah. So the main reason I got into UFC, because to be honest, I just stumbled upon it. Yeah. I just turned it on, and then I seen these two guys in in the octagon fighting. I'm like, what is this? This was some like, I would say about 12 years ago, maybe 10, 12 years ago. I'm like, these guys, and it was the almighty, legendary Hall of Fame, the Iceman, Chuck Liddell.
Oh wow! Okay.
That was my. He was fighting Randy Couture.
Okay. Oh shoot.
So I came into the high point. It was still rising.
Yeah.
Those who were fighting, they had an epic match, and I clicked and I'm like, what's going on? Like these people kicking and elbowing and taking each other down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're grappling and stuff like that. Well, what is this? You know, because before UFC, I used to watch a little bit of boxing. You know, I wasn't a major boxing fan, but you know, I like watching, you know, people hit each other, you know, with gloves on.
Yeah.
But then I seen this, I'm like, okay, they have smaller gloves. Their fingers are out. They're in the octagon, not a ring. I was like, I was very intrigued to like what is this?
Yeah.
So ever since then, I was hooked. You know, Iceman got me hooked, man. He was the first superstar of the UFC. You know, everybody knew Iceman. My mom knew Iceman. My grandmother,
Wow.
my grandmother, literally knew Iceman. You know, Chuck Liddell was the first legit superstar of the UFC. So yeah, that got me to that, and then I started watching more fights, and then I seen this one fighter, this one fighter that connected to me. Like we had a connection. He was humble, you know. He never talked crap to nobody. You know, it was about business. You know, some fighters come in there and then they want to showboat. They want to talk that trash. Oh, I could beat you up. I'm gonna check you out in 2 seconds. You know, like
it's always great to have a villain.
Yeah, it's good.
It's
good. But you don't want to get too comedy. You don't want to get too
that's a Muhammad
pro wrestling.
That's a Muhammad situation.
Yeah. But I never.
But he backed it up though.
Yeah. I never was fond of person who talks crap before the fight.
Gotcha.
Close your mouth. We're gonna settle this in the ring, you know, or octagon. But this guy right here is George St. Pierre.
I like him a lot. Yeah.
GSP, bro. He is my fighting idol because he was on Joe Rogan one day, and then he spoke to Joe Rogan about how he became a fighter, and it was one of those classic stories. He was bullied as a kid, and then, you know, and he's like, man, why I'm keep getting bullied? Like, what's going on? Like I can't defend myself. Yeah. You know, so then he took up MMA, you know, and then he said he went back to that bully, and then self defense. You know, no, he has morals. He don't. A lot of people talk crap about him. Like during a press conference, they be across from him. Hey man, your English not good. What's going on? When he fought Bisping at middleweight 185, Bisping was just eating him alive on the mic, you know. And then George was just looking like this, like, You know, he tried to talk back, but he couldn't, you know, because he's not that kind of person. You know, he's a nice person. When you get a nice person into UFC, they're super nice out the octagon, but inside they're killers. That's what I like, you know, because it shows me you don't gotta talk big and bad. You gotta be all macho and then get in the ring, octagon, and then get knocked out. You know.
Oh yeah.
So he was always in the back of my mind, no homo, but a little sus. His body is awesome. His body, I've strived to get a GSP body for like 5 years. It ain't happening, but it's going to happen.
Determination.
It's going to happen, bro. It's gonna happen, bro. But yeah, that's the. He's a great fighter. He was one of the first MMA fighters to be truly mixed martial arts. You know, that because the guys who came before him, the Chuck Liddells, the Royce Gracies, the Royce Gracies,
they were more strike fighters. Yeah,
they was one dimensional.
Yeah,
they either stand up.
Mm-hmm.
You either could punch really good, or you could kick really good, or you could grapple really good, or you could submit really good. You know, Georges St. Pierre was the first of the. He was the well-rounded. You know,
he was universal.
Yeah. You could put him. You could put him on the ground. He was going to pound you. He wasn't much of a knockout artist, but he could jab you up. He had good footwork, good technique. Yeah, so I was always drawn to GSP, you know, so that's why he's my favorite fighter. Do you have a favorite fighter that you know?
I got two.
You got two fighters.
I'll talk about my introduction. I'll talk about my introduction as far as getting into UFC. I think it was a reality show on Spike TV where they was training, and it was the Ultimate Fighter, I believe.
The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, that was kind of like
love that show.
And then it was
love it.
Rashad Evans and Quentin Rampage Jackson. They had their little team.
That was the best one. That was the best one. That beef.
They was butting heads. And
they didn't like each other at all.
I remember how Rampage Jackson was always like, I'm just here to give the motivation things. And Rashad was like, you're not really coaching. He was like, you're right. I'm not a coach. I'm the motivator. I'm here to tell them what they need to do and do it. And you saw a lot of animosity of what it took to be that UFC fighter. And he was talking about how they got on that wall in the Hall of Fame and how he remembered not being on that wall in the Hall of Fame. It was cool, man, seeing the determination of what it took to be a UFC fighter. It was great. And it was like, I think, a reality show that we needed, man, showing the blood, sweat, and tears of being great and becoming great and what it means to be great. I thought it was tight, man. And so that was kind of like my introduction to UFC, the Ultimate Fighter reality shows. And my favorite fighters, I think, is one in the women's division. I think it was Gina Carano. I love Gina Carano. She was my favorite.
She's one of the pioneers.
Yeah.
I believe before Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. I'll take
Carano. Before her.
I'll take Carano over Rousey.
Yeah. Now, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ronda is washed and she went to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
So
you
there we go.
Remember what division was, but I think she was fighting some chick in Thailand. I can't remember her name. And I don't know if she won that fight or lost it, but that was one of my introductions to her fight. It was an international fight overseas.
Are you talking about Cyborg? Because she fought her too.
It might have been.
Gina fought her too.
Yeah. I know it was an international fight.
She almost died, but she fought her.
She hung in there, though. That was one. And then I've always been a Rampage fan.
Okay.
Heavyweight.
Okay.
Heavy fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not so much in the defense, but he's more like brute.
He's one of those fighters that are. He's good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's a boxer.
Yeah.
He don't elbow. He don't kick. He don't take down.
He's a brute.
He just straight up. I'm gonna go in the octagon, and I'm gonna try to knock your head off.
Yeah.
Period. You know. So yeah, that's really good.
I like jumping on both sides. I like the women's division. The men's heavyweight is cool, and then that middle ground is probably the most exciting because for me the middle ground is kind of where it's unpredictable. I like the middleweight battles the best though. I don't really have a favorite fighter in the middleweight, but as far as the female division, heavyweight, that's where I was really at. But the middleweight was the most exciting, though.
Shout out to Anderson Silva.
Oh,
shout out to the Spider.
Spider's crazy. He's an unpredictable fighter.
He came into the UFC, and his first fight, he fought Chris Lieben, and Chris Lieben has a big head, and it's known if you have a big head and you're a fighter, you can take a punch. So Chris Lieben was known to be able to take punches. Spider-Man came in there and ate him alive. He gave him a combo, out. Next fight, got a title shot. He only had one fight in the UFC. Next fight was a title shot. Dana knew he struck gold with him. He was a money pit, man. Like everybody wanted to go see Spider-Man. He fought Rich Franklin, and Rich Franklin, he was a poster boy of the middleweight division. He was the king of that division. And he was the one that was most popular. Anderson Silva came in there and worked his guts, literally. He gave him that tight clinch, got the knees to the gut,
up close,
up close and personal. And even Rich said like he didn't know how to defend it.
It's kind of like I don't know if this factors into it because because MMA, Wing Chun is very like up close martial arts.
He does that. He does that now.
It's basically taking your opponent, bringing him in, and then stripping his defense, and basically he's a puppet now. So you're breaking him down mentally and psychologically. I'm going to do what I want to do. And it's almost like you're not knocking him out. You're finishing him so that he has nothing else left to do. You're finishing his body. You're bringing him in, and you're just destroying him from up and down.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So he does do a lot of that.
Silva does that, and then a few other fighters do as well. I don't recall, but that's a good fighting technique.
Oh yeah.
So your favorite fighters, Gina Carano, Rampage. My fighter is GSP. And the intro to my UFC thing is Chuck Liddell. So I can say he's kind of my favorite too.
Yeah. Shout out to the UFC fighters getting those in movies too.
Yeah,
action movies. They know what's up. They bring that authenticity for a reason.
When I seen GSP in Winter Soldier, I'm like, oh, GSP is tight, so
that had to be an honor to see GSP going up head
bro,
up Cap. Even though he lost to me, he still won.
Against Cap, bro.
Even though he lost, he won.
Against Cap.
Yeah, it was tight.
So let's get into this topic, man.
Yeah.
We don't get into these UFC champion topics right here. So we're going to tackle the first champion. We're going to tackle and we're going to tackle it. If he could beat his next opponent, how was his last fight, and his status, his or her status as a all-time great UFC champion. All right. So first, the polarizing, the almighty, the pictograms. Some say he's a cheater. Some say he's not. I don't know. I think he is. Maybe. Who knows? The almighty Johnny Bones Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So his last fight. Did you see it?
I seen the highlights.
His last fight, he fought Thiago Santos. Thiago was on one leg for most of the fight.
Oh wow.
Thiago was fighting with a torn ACL, a torn MCL. He was fighting and throwing kicks, and he was hitting Jon Jones.
They didn't stop it.
They didn't know. He didn't say anything.
That's crazy.
But you could tell every time he threw a kick or walked, he kind of you could see the knee go out of socket a little bit.
Oh,
so
man.
He was in pain, but he went 5 rounds, 4 rounds, 3.5 rounds with a torn knee,
so
torn kneecap.
Yeah.
He didn't care. He was still going head with Jones.
And he was landing the hits.
He was landing the hits. Some say he won that fight.
Right.
Some say he won that fight.
Well.
So what do you think overall of the fighter Jon Jones?
Jon Jones is an animal, just period. He comes in and dictates the fight. He doesn't come in. He comes in as a showstopper. I don't think so much like spectacle. He's more of a inside out kind of fighter. Comes in, analyzes it, and he just goes for the count. He's that, and I think height and durability has a lot to do with it. He's a tall dude. You know what I'm saying? And when you're tall, you fight tall. So and then what else comes with tall and height? Range. You know what I mean? So he's got a lot of that. He's got a lot of factors working for him.
That reach, that's
a big thing in fights. And if you're tall, you're gonna use that. You know what I'm saying? That's a mechanism.
People say
they're gonna come in, stay back, knee, stay back.
Exactly.
You gotta go low.
There's a lot of tall fighters in the UFC.
Yeah.
But some don't use their reach. He uses his full reach to his advantage. He has an 84 reach. That you can't get close. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like as far as him being a fighter, he nobody in the light heavyweight division can defeat him. He'll have to move up to heavyweight to fight DC.
That's an interesting way of looking
people
at it.
People are saying, move to heavyweight, bro. There, you clean out your division. There's no more left to fight here. Move up. He said he ain't trying to move up. He wanted to stay there, and then he want to see the new challengers to see if he could beat them. I say move up, bro. Move up and challenge yourself because I feel like he's scared.
Yeah.
You know, to challenge himself because he has that reach.
Right.
You go to heavyweight, you ain't gonna have that reach.
Yeah.
You gonna have that height advantage. These people up there that's 6'6".
Now you're talking about
6'8".
Now you're talking about stamina.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has skinny legs, real skinny legs.
Yeah.
Nobody ever attacked them legs.
Right.
His calves are very small. So if he stay in the light heavyweight division, undefeated, easy.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So yeah.
That would be interesting if he does jump to heavyweight, though. I wouldn't mind that.
So yeah. We're gonna wrap this up, right here. So we're gonna. This is the first a champion that we talk about. We're gonna have many more videos on other champions. So stay tuned. It's gonna be me and Ron Joe Genji.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you, bro.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. This is tight, man. Get to talk about fighting.
Yeah, bro. But this right here is my passion, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, this is on the Jody's Corner, and this is HC300, my boy.
Ron Joe Genji, Cyborgpedia, Triple. Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah. And we out.